Hey there guys, good morning. Mobility Monday. Who has a ball? This is a therapy ball, a trigger point ball. It's made by Trigger Point, tptherapy.com. It's just one of many different options. If you have one, grab it. If you have a lacrosse ball, you can use that. And if you don't have either one of those things, I think you should consider including it in your mobility lineup. But let's get started with a little bit of foam rolling first. We're going to do a quick scan using the foam roller, see how you came through the weekend of fun and training and racing and all of the above. So we're going to use the ball in just a second. Mobility needs to be followed up with strength. Mobility is not enough stimulus to truly make you the most resilient human you can be. So if you ever want to just join in for a couple of weeks of strength program that I design and I lead for you, all you have to do is ask. So just send me, you can just make a comment that you want to give a couple of weeks a try on the house and be my guest. If you like the style and the way that you feel and maybe my level of knowledge, experience, and expertise, then definitely join the journey. It's been pretty successful for a lot of people, and it really is the joy of my life to help people live everything to the fullest. And the healthier your body is, and the better you feel physically, the more accessible the world is to you. So let's grab your foam roller and just get a little bit below the calf muscle. Right below the calf muscle, and under there is that soleus muscle. The soleus muscle is a stabilizer, but we always want to keep the tissue hydrated. So when we use a little bit of the pressure from the foam roller, we give that little bit of upregulation of the nervous system, a little bit more muscle activation and activity in the fibers, and it allows the hydration that hopefully you're feeding your body consistently and constantly into that tissue. So right below, we're just kind of using a little bit of pressure. We're dragging the skin of the lower leg around the foam roller. Just kind of if somebody was rubbing the lower part of the leg, would normally choose a leg and foot massage over a self-directed foam roller session, but what are you going to do Monday morning, right? So we're just dragging the skin along and around the foam roller. We can also just take that foam roller and just move the tissue around and move the muscle around using the foam roller on the back, but also on the front. And so creating a little bit of friction, creating a little bit of heat. We also want to get ready. You can see my tan line, my sock line right there. So let's go ahead and just use that. It's called the retinaculum. It's a band of tissue and connective tissue that holds all the tendons in and creates that nice bend there. But keeping that area mobile and hydrated can really be assisted. And if you don't have a foam roller, you can just use your thumbs, right? So just super empowering to work through the lower leg. Let's hit the other side. Bottom. If the feet ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So we want happy ankles, mobile ankles, and really nice functioning feet. Remember, the lower leg and the feet are the furthest thing from the circulatory system. So they will get dehydrated before anything else. So if you're feeling your calf muscle is tense, like a lot of things can be going on, but one of the first things to consider when we're trying to deal with lower leg niggles or consideration is that tissue hydrated? And so this right here can truly help just stay on top of that. Let's hit the retinaculum on that side, right through the whole ankle joint, right? So we're just using the friction, a little bit of self-massage through the lower leg, okay? Good. Let's take that right above the knee, but behind the knee. So the lower aspect of the hamstring group. And we're just going to do a little bit of, I call it windshield wiper, when you're just rolling from the inside to the outside. Just using a little bit of pressure We're not dragging the skin here, we're rolling. A little bit of pressure. Let's hit the other side. We can do these scans relatively quickly. I do think, as you know, if you do this session with me, you can totally overcook the foam roller, and you can really set yourself up with a very tense situation. So be careful how much you use the foam roller and what you're actually trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish a down regulation and a little bit less activation and protective mechanisms that happen in the body from training, you're trying to override that a little bit, be careful, because you might actually create the exact opposite situation. So I've actually heard of people doing a foam roller for an hour, and it's just, to me, it's just too much. So just nice and easy. Good. All right, let's get after the inner thigh just a little bit. So we're going to take that femur in 3 parts. First one is right down by the knee. Bring that knee straight up, and we're just using that same pressure. So we should be nice and perpendicular here to the hip. The knee is up. The foot is flexed, so let's pull the toes up to the shin, and we're just going to work that internal rotation of the hip using the foam roller as that little bit of guide. Good. Good. All right, let's go right up into the belly. So we're just using pressure here again. Nice and easy. And just pay attention to the position of the knee here, because we are getting some glute activation as well. As soon as we start, pull that knee off the foam roller from that position, and you'll start recognizing how that upregulates and activates the backside of the body. So if we want to, we can use this to our advantage to bring in more players into the game. Okay, good. So we're only hitting the first third and the second third of the femur right now of that adductor group, the inner thigh. Let's go to the other side. Bring the knee up. If you're in my premium group, you've got a little repetition to do this week. So we've got similar sessions from to last week, but they're heavy. So we want to get some gains this week. Hopefully you're keeping track and you're really ready to get after it. So the foot is pulled towards the shin, the knee is up, and we're working that VMO and all the attachments that come from the adductor group in that first third of this little assignment here. Good. All right, from right there, let's just pull the foam roller, pull the knee off the foam roller, and we'll just lift it up, keep the full foot on the ground, and just hold that. Okay, going into the second third, right into the belly, just using the pressure, lift the foot up, and we're working through the adductor again. Okay, good. Let's take that foam roller right to the upper back. So foam roller is right below the shoulder blades. Hips are on the ground. Tuck the chin, and let's just engage the hands to support the neck. And from right there, oh, it's my favorite. Just take that right around, just nice and easy. It's almost like doing crunches. And I say almost because I'm not a big crunch fan, but that is a crunch right here. This is a crunch. So we're just driving the ribs towards the hips and just keeping that belly nice and strong. As we go back, we're just moving through that thoracic spine, nice and even, nice and easy. You want to open the shoulders up a little bit. Let's let the elbows flop to the side. And then let's move away from the foam roller with the hips and move the foam roller up. So it's actually between the shoulder blades now. We've got a nice extension in the spine, and we're just going to toggle side to side. So we're getting a little bit of that lat. Nice and easy. And good. All right. We could spend a little bit more time on that, but let's keep moving. All right. So if you have a ball, great. Let's grab it. We're going to use it more as a prop than anything else. So down on your stomach, ball off to the side for just a second. Let's tuck the toes under in the back and make sure that the knees are close. They don't have to be touching, but let's keep the knees close to each other, about 1 inch apart. Let's let the heels flop out to the side just a little bit, looking straight down. So nose is going to be 2 inches from the ground and you're looking down. Pull the chin into the throat, and then we're just going to go fingertips to the ground, wrists and elbows off the ground, pull the palms away from the ground. From right there, just hold that position. Pull the ribs off the mat just a little bit, just the top of the ribs. And you're going to feel the upregulation and the activation of the back line of the body, the posterior chain. So just hold that nice and strong. From right there, the knees are close. We're just going to lift the feet up, but keep the toes pulling towards the shins. So the toes are about 1.5 inches off the ground, looking straight down, and we're just going to pull the fingertips off the ground. Hold that nice and strong. Everybody goes back to the ground. We got 2 more of those, okay? Right there, pull the chin and throat. The chest is off the ground, okay? So we've got a little bit of extension in the spine. Toes pull off the ground, hands pull off the ground, nice and strong. Let's go 2 big breaths here. And good. All right, let's grab the ball. You can also grab a foam roller, you can grab a water bottle. I really don't care. We just need something to grab. Okay? So we're just gonna get in that same position. The knees are close, toes are tucked under, heels are falling apart. Chest is off the ground. See how there's just that little bit of space right there? Ladies, if it's you, we've got the boobs just off the ground just a little bit. If you don't have any breasts or boobs, then just keep your chest off the ground just a little bit. From right here, tuck the chin into the throat, and we're just going to pass that ball all the way around to the other hand. And then take it all the way back up. Round the world. 2, 3, 4. Keep the chest up, keep the head in a strong position. 5. Now we go the other way. 1, 2, tuck your chin. 3, 4, and 5. If you found yourself lifting your head and trying to shorten your neck, it's going to create more extension in the spine and maybe even a little bit too much. So when we do this movement, or when you do this movement, the chest is off the ground, you have an anchor down low, and from there, keep the neck, the cervical spine long. This is short, this is long, okay? So tucking the chin into the throat is a really important piece of the puzzle. All right, very simple. Cross the right leg over the left. Sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to twist back to the right. So right leg over, and just a very gentle twist. Support yourself. Take the tension out of your hips by taking the tension onto your right hand in the back. So just nice and easy. Gentle, controlled twist. And then we're going to go to the other side. You don't want to force these things. You're not looking for big end range. We're going left leg over right. Lean back, take the tension out of the hips, and just rotate to the left. Good. All right, let's do each side one more time. Again, we're not trying to expand and extend your ability to twist. We just want to make sure that when you get into this position, a nice tall position, decompressed spine, relaxed hips by taking the hand to the back, when you go into this position, it should feel a certain way. You should be able to get into this position, palm forward. B, you should feel a gentle bit of tension through the upper back. And then we're going to add the breath. So we want the expansion of the rib cage, all the intercostals, the little muscles between the ribs. And right here, we're just going to do 3 big breaths. So we've got a gentle twist, gentle, and we're just going to go ahead and inhale and exhale. Inhale. One more. Not a lot of rules on the breathing, just breathe. Big. And good. Taking deep breaths is just a really nice way to add a little bit of relaxation into the system. You know that when you get into that fight or flight, it can be your body's just searching for protection and survival. And when we know we're relaxed, we can take nice big breaths, and that's where we're focusing right now. Okay, left leg round, left arm takes the weight out of the hips and there's tension out of the hips. Right hand, and from right here, let's just go 3 big breaths. Done. Good. All right, so we've got a little bit of focus on that posterior chain today. It's almost impossible to have a conversation about posterior chain without exploring a little bit of bridging. So from right here, as you just laid there, I can tell that my hip flexors are tight because usually if I'm not training or I haven't had a really busy weekend, when I lay in this position, my hips are flat and my low back is flat to the ground. I've just been doing it a long time and it's very easy. A lot of you are already in that position and congratulations. Recognize that that's a good thing and you're in that position. If you feel pointy hips and you feel space under your low back, let's go ahead and just pull the pubic bone to your belly button, flatten the hips, so you just start to see that those are flat. And from right there, keeping the knees in, we're just gonna lift the hips. For me, when I lift the hips, I feel tension in my adductors. Not surprising. That's definitely a response to good training and being active. Just not going to actively do anything, but I'm recognizing my adductors are a little bit tight. So just keeping the knees straight up. We're holding that position. We're going to go 3 huge breaths. Keep the hips up. Keep them flat. Glutes are starting to really come into the game a little bit over time as we hold that position. 3 big breaths. Here we go. And hips down. So we held that bridge for a good 20 seconds. We want to be long through the front side of the body. Remember, length on the front line, length on the front fascial line of the body will give you the ability to access more of the back line. Okay, so having access and ability and strength on the posterior chain or the back line of the body is something that can drive performance in sport and as well as in life. So just right now, after that bridge, now I'm back into that more neutral pelvis. Oh, hello, Jackson. Oh, you guys haven't seen Jackson for a while. Look who showed up. Hello, sneaky boy. Somebody just finished his breakfast. All right, so right here, let's go ahead and check. You want flat hips. Keep the knees in. And we're going to go ahead and push the heels into the ground and lift the hips. Keep the knees in. Nice and strong. Jackson might be right in your sight line, but hopefully we did it already once, so not that big a deal. The good news is he's not finding me that interesting, so that's really pretty good. And actually he left, so that's even better. So hips up nice and strong, long through the hip flexors. We don't want those pointy hips to reassert themselves as we go into this bridge, this isometric hold on the bridge. From right there, let's add our 3 breaths. More glute activation this time. You're not trying, it's just happening. That's what's holding you up. And one more. And back down. Good. All right, guys, Mobility Monday with a little bit of activation of the posterior chain today, a little bit more on the back line. Premium members, or if anybody wants to join in on a little bit of strength for a couple of weeks, see how you feel after a couple of weeks. See if you can find the rhythm and routine that's really going to benefit you going into the fall and winter. To be honest, this is some of my favorite time of the year. The boys are starting to get ready for Kona. I've got a couple of females getting ready for Nice. I've got a couple of just age groupers all over the world just really looking to go into the championship season in a nice strong way. Having the world championships for 70.3 all the way in December means we have the opportunity to really get strong before that race, if that's interesting to you. If not, just imagine going into the holidays, one of the fittest you've ever been. What a great gift to yourself. So thanks for showing up on Monday. We're going to keep this going. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. If you want to join me for a couple of weeks of free strength, why? What do you have to lose? Give me a little bit more of your time and energy, and I'd love to be your strength coach. Peace, you guys. Have a great day.